Devotional.
Hi everyone. This is so strange that it's the last time to officially speak to you. Not that I have a lot of speaking gigs in my role with RUF, but it is so strange to not have the rituals that we would have had. And I know y'all feel that too. Like I would have never imagined that I'm going to say goodbye to y'all, or to most of y'all, on my phone's camera. And I don't see y'all right now. I would never have imagined that in a million years. But here we are. Okay, so last things to leave you with. I could say a lot. I'm going to start as Maria von Trapp starts at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. Okay, so when we first moved here to UT, I need to give y'all some background information. It was 7 years ago, and Reed was 5 months old. Zoe Kate was 2, and it was the first time that I had ever been to Knoxville, because I was raised to hate UT. Hate. So I wasn't allowed to wear orange growing up. Like, my parents wouldn't buy me any clothes that had orange in it. We made a fake Christmas card one year when I was a teenager. My brother and I held up posters that said, "Go to hell, UT." Not proud of that, just letting you know that that happened. And so when I first moved here, I told Matt, I was like, I want to love this place and the students. I just don't know if I can cheer for Tennessee. And he was like, that's fine, it'll come. And I was like, it'll come? Like, you think that's gonna come? And he was confident that it would come. And y'all, now I think that UT orange is like the prettiest color in the world. And I've never been more proud to be a part of something. I went to a small college, so like, this is the biggest thing that I've ever been a part of, and I at least consider myself a part of it. So a lot has happened in my heart, despite my parents' best wishes for me these past 7 years. So I'm grateful to good old Rocky Top. And but I also want to thank y'all, as many of these devotionals, people have said their thanks, and this is a time to say thank you. I want to thank y'all for your hospitality and your warmth and your grace. I think it comes naturally. It's hard, I think, for college students to fake that, and it came naturally to y'all. Here we are, these older people that want to be a part of your lives, and you welcome us in. And something you may or may not know about me, but I'm really awkward when it comes to small talk. And if I get uncomfortable, I'll usually say something like dark or inappropriate, or I'll start asking like really intimate questions in front of a large group of people. And y'all rolled with it, and you loved me for who God created me to be, and gave me a lot of grace. And I am just so thankful for that. I also want to thank y'all for, I wrote a couple notes too, for being playful. It really brings out, I think, the levity with which Christ invites us into. I don't know if y'all have heard the book by Eugene Peterson. Eugene Peterson, he was an author, theologian, and translator of The Message. And he wrote a book called Christ Plays in 10,000 Places. And he actually borrowed that line from a poet, Gerard Manley Hopkins. But this idea that Christ is a playful God. And I think that y'all have modeled that for me and my family so well. And something like really weird and sad happens as people grow through their 20s and 30s is they lose that playfulness and they start to take life a little too seriously. And y'all have kept the howls from going in that direction. And it's been so much fun. I've laughed so much with y'all. Y'all are weird and strange and hilarious. And I love y'all. I love y'all for it. And I just love y'all. I also want to thank y'all for the gifts of your tears and your pain that you've personally given me. Many of y'all have sat with me at Remedy or Plaid or Zoe's, and I'm realizing as I say this that that is hard to do, intimate, vulnerable conversations in these public places, but we have found ourselves in those places, and these stories that y'all have given me that have been nothing short of gifts. Y'all have trusted me, and I fully have received those as gifts. So thank you for inviting me into those places. And I know full and well that God is a God of redemption, and he loves, he's in the business of redemption. And so just to receive those stories and to be able to give words of hope to let you know that Jesus is near. Thank you for giving that to me. And I think the last thing that I want to end with, the last thing I want to tell you, I kind of want to stay on brand with this coronavirus thing. This word that keeps being used is the word essential. And it's many like memes and jokes have been made out of this word. And by the way, memes have been the best part of this coronavirus. But like, I think it is also hilarious, some of the things that are deemed essential. Like when I found out that liquor stores were deemed essential, I thought that was funny. Like that's really funny. Sad, funny, I don't know. A little bit of both. But I think about that word and in a sobering way, what has been essential for me and my family, besides, I think, the physical essentials that we think about. And what I want to tell y'all is that the only thing essential that you need is Jesus Christ himself and his church. They are the only essentials. It reminds me of this story. I quoted C.S. Lewis last week, and I'm just going to bring him back again because he's good and he should be quoted as often as possible. So one of his books, I think it was The Silver Chair in the Narnia series, there's this character, Jill Poole, who comes upon this strange forest, and she's lost her friend Eustace, and she's dying of thirst. She's been I don't even know what she's been doing. I can't remember the full context of it, but she's exhausted and mainly thirsty. She's just dying of thirst, and she sees a stream not too far away. But between her and the stream is this lion, and that lion is Aslan, and as you and I know, that is the Christ figure in the Narnia series. But of course, it's a lion. And so she's terribly frightened, and she's thinking to herself, how do I get to that water? And Aslan engages with her, and Aslan says, come and drink. And so she starts to have this conversation with Aslan and said, you've got to promise to look the other way. And he says, no. And she said, well, you've got to promise not to harm me. And he said, I make no promises. And so she says, surely there's another way that I can find water. And he says to her, there is no other stream. And so I want to tell y'all that there is no other stream but Jesus and his church. They are essential, and they are the only hope we have. And that is good news. It may feel like that's good news some days, and some days it might not feel like that's good news. And that's okay. It doesn't make it untrue just because you feel like it's scary and unbelievable and hard to understand. It doesn't make it untrue. It is true. And it's free. It's offered freely. to you and me, and it's life and rest and wholeness. And it is found in Jesus himself. It is found in his church, and it's found in his word. He says, you want to experience me? Come to my word, come to my scriptures, and come to my church. So I implore you all to go to his word and go to church as often as you can. Become a member of a local church, even in college. And as you graduate, as Matt said, which you will, or we hope that you will, but nonetheless you will leave UT. During UT and after UT, find a church and go to his word as often as possible. That is where life and wholeness are. And it remains that way for eternity. This life is short, guys. This life is short. But his love for you, his steadfast love, is yours forever. Okay. I love y'all. I miss y'all terribly. And wish that I could hug you all and tell you how much I love you and how much I'm going to miss you. Come to Memphis. Let's get those hugs in a few months. And until then, I'll see you later. Bye.